This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, March 19. In Squiz Kids today, green shoots and job numbers, Florida's photobombing manta ray, the footy returns to the MCG, and Usain Bolt's chicken nugget feast. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
When a big fire passes through bushland, it often burns everything in sight. All the trees and bushes gone. So, months later, when the first green shoots of new trees start to poke through the blackened ground, it's a good sign that things are coming back to normal. If you imagine the coronavirus to be a big bushfire, and the trees and bushes it burnt to be many thousands of Australians' jobs, then the green shoots appeared through the blackened earth yesterday when the country's unemployment numbers were reported. Unemployment numbers are a measure of how many adults in a population are out of work. So, when the unemployment rate goes down, as it did yesterday, it's a good sign that the economy is getting stronger and that more people have jobs. And having a job, even if the adults in your life might groan about it sometimes, is a really good thing for lots of different reasons, including having money to pay for things. According to the government in Canberra, also known as the federal government, it's a sign that there is light at the end of the COVID tunnel. So, there's your economics lesson for the week. You're welcome.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Florida, in the United States, where a giant manta ray has photobombed a surfer. A local photographer was taking a pic of a surfer when he noticed a splash behind him. It was only afterwards, when he was going through his photos, that he discovered he had captured the extraordinary moment when a manta ray had leapt up out of the water, like some wonderful spaceship from the deep. Manta rays are part of the same family of animals as stingrays, with a wingspan that can measure up to 9 metres, which is the same as 2 small cars end to end. Imagine having that swim up to you. There's a link to the photo in today's episode notes, and yes, it's epic.
Sport time.
Oh, happy day. The footy has made a triumphant return to the MCG, and all is once again well with the world. After 537 days of not hosting a footy match because of that dastardly coronavirus, the G threw open its doors last night and welcomed a sellout crowd to watch the Richmond Tigers take on the Carlton Blues. And there were cheers, tears, and a whole lot of very, very happy footy fans. The game marks the official start of the 2021 AFL season, and what a match it was. In the end, the defending premiers Richmond proved too strong, beating the Blues by 105 points to 80. Meanwhile, up north in Sydney, the Eels beat the Storm by 16 points to 12. But Ryan Pappenhausen's mullet was still the best on ground.
Biggest, furthest, longest.
This is the segment where we celebrate record breakers. So it's perfectly normal that someone like Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, would be featured in this segment. But it's not his speed on the track that we're here to discuss. It's the number of chicken nuggets he ate while taking part in the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. The sprint star estimates he ate 1,000 nuggets over a 10-day period, which is an average of 100 nuggets per day. Ugh. Now, it should go without saying that this is not something you should try yourself. Usain has this week told interviewers he did it as a bet, but he's now very aware that fast food is okay every now and then, but not the way to build a healthy, happy body. even if he did win 3 gold medals and broke 3 world records at that Chicken Nugget Olympics.
What's up, Fox?
Every Friday, we check in with Squiz Kids ambassador Flynn, known as the Fox to his friends, to see what he's been reading, listening to and watching. On the reading front, he's been diving into his Tintin collection, going back over a couple of his favourites from the comic series by Belgian writer Hergé. It's The Crab with the Golden Claws that he's been especially into this week. On the listening front, he's a true believer this week, grooving out to the new Justin Bieber song Hold On. And as for watching, continuing the musical theme, he's been watching this week's Grammy Award performances on YouTube and is quite taken with Harry Styles' rendition of Watermelon Sugar. And as ever, there are links to all of these cool things in today's episode notes.
Q&A call-out.
Next week, Squiz Kids' fabulous Miss Amanda will be visiting Taronga Zoo for a very special Q&A with tiger keeper Louise Ginman. So, what makes this Q&A so special? Well, only that for the first time, this Q&A will be recorded on video as well as audio, meaning you'll be able to watch it on Taronga TV on YouTube or listen to it right here. How cool is that? A Squiz Kids Q&A for TV. Today's the last day, of course, if you have a question you want to ask Louise about tigers, or about working at a zoo, or about conservation in general. Send your questions quick sticks to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. And if you need inspiration, we've got links in the episode notes today to some video footage of Taronga's tigers, as well as the live stream cameras from inside the tiger's enclosure. Enjoy!
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of marine animal photobombed a surfer in Florida this week? That's right, it was a manta ray. Question number 2. Which famous sporting arena in Melbourne was back hosting an AFL match last night? You got it, it was the MCG. Question number 3. Name the fastest man in the world who has possibly the biggest chicken nugget appetite in the world. Yeah, it's Usain Bolt.
Shout-outs.
It's March 19, National Day Against Bullying. Because being a bully, or being bullied, is never okay. At Squiz Kids, we're a 100% bully-free zone, and we can all play a part in stamping out bullying. Check out the Bullying No Way video in today's episode notes. It's also a Friday, and do I have to spell out what that means? An extra long birthday shout-out segment, which requires a little bit of musical accompaniment. Hit it! Happy birthday to these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Deacon from Nowra, Anthea from The Rock, Hayley from Albany Hills, Evan from Wembley Downs, Madeline from Engadine, Raphael and Libby from Sydney, Henry from Northbridge, Peach from Ingham, Charlotte from Woodvale, Marshall from Lake Munmora, Riley from Concord West, Lucy from Yarraman, Caitlin from Balcombe Hills, Lola from North Fitzroy, Electra from Five Dock, and Willow from Rose Bay. And a belated birthday shout out to Aviana from Mortlake. And not forgetting, of course, all of those Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday over this coming weekend. Happy birthday to Raya from Pakenham, Imogen from Bundanoon, Eleanor Rose from Engadine, Nega from Victoria, Jack from Birkdale, Will from Exeter, Jack from Ocean Grove, Jerome from Ashmont, Tate from Capalaba, Gemma from Parkdale, Castell from Brisbane, Devant from Cranbourne, Peter from Cabramatta, and Mitchell, who's listening all the way over there in Cape Town in South Africa. Happy birthday, one and all! Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, That's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, I want you all to get out there and have a most excellent weekend. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.